Today is all about the website, your settings. I do this all day long. So I want to go over my most asked questions so you can easily tweak or do any of that on your own. Or, of course, I'm going to show you where to do the magic button and I do it for you. But I want you to at least see what you have from the get-go. Start one. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to move everyone over here. I'll open up the chat. Feel free to use that. We're going to use Mark's site as our guinea pig. So as you can see on your website, there is a video header. You have your name, your title, and then we have kind of like a tagline. You can update what your title is. That's probably one of my top asked questions. It's going to say associate unless you have gone in and you edit your profile, and that's going to be under your name. Most people do not have anything, so it's going to pull over associate. Most are like, I want it to say realtor or whatnot. So under your job title, you have your name. That's where the job title is. So if you want to say Rockin' Realtor, that's where you're going to change that. It does only sync maybe a couple times a day. It's not instant like anything else we do on the website. It's not going to automatically update super, super quick. But just so you know, that's where that information is pulling from. We can change these to photos. We have a bunch of photos in the hub that you can use. By default, the agents will inherit if we added the video. So that's why we have that. I personally love the videos because it's just kind of surrounding area, way of life, it's movement. I personally like those the best. Then you're going to see this is pulling from your MAXTech profile. So Mark has not updated his photos since Bouge. Now they're a square, which is why he has the white space on the sides. He could always update that in the same spot where his name is, and it's going to make him crop it, and then it'll be a square. So most agents will see a square if they've updated their photo in the last couple of years. That is where this profile bio is coming from. In your name, you can read more. It's going to show everything that you have in your MAXTech profile. This area here is pulling from the office bio. So it's pulling over from the office photo and our bio that we have in there. These things are part of the template. It's not editable as far as moving it around. Maybe hopefully we'll get new templates and that'll be in a different spot. I don't understand why the office has to be so high, but just so you know, if you're trying to move those, they're not movable. And that's where it's pulling that information from. The rest of these are mostly widgets, and that's what we're going to cover a lot today is how you can edit, customize your website using different widgets. My favorite is going to be the featured areas widget. It can be cities, it can be counties. You can do, as you can see, we do like golf communities, waterfront, pool homes, and we just add in the major counties. So it's all searches, but you can combine, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can edit the photos, whatever you want it to be. You can only have 2 rows, 3. I personally absolutely love that. It's going to take them to the search. Hello, I'm not asking you for your help right now. I personally love this. It's my favorite widget that we have. It's allowing you to really focus on whether you have communities or anything like that. If they're larger and they actually pull in search, go ahead, you can put those in there. I love that aspect of the featured elements. These are also different widgets. So you can have, this one is the contact, but there's a contact luxury, which will make it, a black, which is kind of what we have here for the market report. This was black. I can go into the HTML and add the color I wanted this to be. So I made it that blue. So there's just different widgets. You can play with it. You can't break your site, I don't think. So you can feel free to customize different widgets. If you don't like them, you can remove them. If you change your mind and you did want them, you can go right into your history. Anything you customize will automatically be saved and they'll just be in your history tab. So that's just different widgets. Those are personally my favorite that I use when building the website because we have the featured areas. We have different ways to be able to be contacted. You go to the home value page to generate seller leads. This is going to take someone to a search so they can search. So I feel, and this is going to the market report. So I try to add a little bit of everything. These are all ways to generate leads on your website. And this is what your site should look like out of the gate. I haven't done anything to Mark's site. He inherited what we set up on the office level. So before ordering, make sure to, check out what you have currently. It's going to be on that REMAX domain. If you had a custom domain connected to Booge, I do have a blog on, we would need to release it from Booge, go into your GoDaddy or your Registrar and remove all the Booge settings to forward it to your REMAX domain. That's more advanced. I have blogs on that, all that fun stuff. So this is going into the widgets. Then you have your listing carousels. This is a lot of different options. It has my listings. That'll be your listings. If you don't have any, it's going to pull over the office or team listings. And just know if you are a team leader, you almost have your own brokerage site. So you don't get inherited the office design. And I would definitely recommend just using the order form. I'll set up everything as I do on the office level. It is really almost like my platinum plan that I do for others, but we want to make sure you have the mortgage calculator blog, whatever you want. We're going to make sure that it's set up on your team site. So those are the only ones. They will not be inheriting what we have set up for the office. So these are the listing carousels. You can turn them off. You can kind of change what's there. You could have an area. You could have your sold. This is just listed. It's pulling in from the entire MLS. And then I have reduced. You could have open house. I'm not usually a fan of the open houses. It's almost like, here's where all the agents are going to be this weekend. So I don't really use the open house, but you could have just reduced. You could put in different areas. That would be communities, as long as it is listed in the areas we cover. That is also in your settings. You can add as many. You could add the full MLS. I probably wouldn't recommend that based on your location. It's going to pull in every typo an agent ever did, thinking they were smarter than the tax records. So this is the areas we cover. We do like a lot of these. This is where we do search engine optimization and all that stuff. This is just pulling in another contact. We can't edit that. So on your website, we also have info, which is kind of like a drop down. We have a blog, which is keeping current matters. We have a buyer's guide, which is really just, we pulled the information in from Booge, added in one of the buyer videos that REMAX had on their website. So we just have some information there. Mortgage calculator, you all have that in your resources. So somebody can go in there and, get some mortgage information, mortgage calculator. And we also have like a seller's guide. That's also going to have in a video and just some of the information that we pulled over from Booge. And that you can also find under your resource tab. So we have all this already pre-set up for you, but I want you to know how you can make modifications, change anything, but definitely go in, play with your site to see all the elements and stuff like that. When you go into your Max Center, click on MAXTech powered by kvCORE. That's going to take you to your dashboard. You should no longer have little blue buttons down here, because that was your first week's homework, was to just kind of go through that navigation. That'll get rid of those blue bubbles, the agent launch checklist, little bubbles that you have there. When I come over here to the web and IDX, right here, this is where I am. I am on your website settings. If you have your own, we're just going to go right down the line. If you know exactly where you want to go, you can jump by using these options here, but we're just going to kind of go down the line. Right now, we have one template, the REMAX template. Hopefully soon we'll have multiple templates to choose from. It's going to change that layout and positioning of different items a little bit. I know they're just kind of working with corporate and legal and getting everything under compliance for Canada, US, all that before we get more templates released. But hopefully we'll be getting more templates. Once that's out, I'll make sure to send out that announcement. If you don't want the video and you want to upload headers, just know when you go over to your MAXTech powered by kvCORE inside your agent hub, and you go right here to agent advanced resources, that's going to take you to a Google Drive folder. We have lots of tips and tricks and all that stuff, but we also have a bunch of header photos. If you just want static photos, you can upload as many as you want. That's going to, it's not an automatic slideshow, but what'll happen is It's going to constantly every time someone's on that home page, it'll be one of those photos that you have. In order to upload, this is the size dimension. All the photos that we have already uploaded for you are exactly that. So if I come over here and I want to add or change photos, I can just grab my photo, bring it over here. If it is a large photo and you do not have it exactly the size, that's okay. We're just going to click on this pencil icon. That's going to show the big photo, and you will be able to rearrange and crop and modify what you want to be seen when you're actually looking at those. So that would be if I'm going to upload another image. You can upload as many as you want. As you do that, you're going to be able to select which photos do I want. Maybe you want some of these are all stock photos that are already in your kvCORE platform, very beachy, but there's a lot, obviously these don't really apply. Then you go over, you have families, you have kitchen, living room. So you can select all that you want to show up. And again, it's not an automatic rotating slideshow. It's every time someone goes to your website, they're going to see one or another of these photos. So it's really nice. Choose all that you want. And then just make sure, as of anything that's on your settings, if there is a blue save button, make sure to click that. This is that secondary logo that is going to show up right next to the office logo. Square seems better to use, and you'll see in the size dimension, it says 512 by 512. Just, I would say, try to make it a square. If it is a logo, I can say, you know, the office is long. If you have another long office and you try to add more information and tabs up here, it's going to end up moving that text on top of your logo. So it might look weird. Square logos look great. Here's one that's a square logo, just kind of like a little bit of branding. Or we could always just go ahead and add in your photo. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me go over to downloads. Maybe let's go ahead and click there. Find my downloads. There we are. And you can see, so Mark has a lot of sides on his. So I'm going to go over here. Just same if you're uploading the logo, you want to make it as tight as possible. So that way there's not going to be white space take up, and it'll make your logo super small if you do that. So I'm just going to make this more square. And then confirm. And then you're going to click this upload right there. And then if I come over here and I refresh his website, you'll see now that he has his photo on that top banner. And you could always re-upload, crop it until you see exactly what you want. But if there is a lot of white space on a logo, you'll see like, why is my logo almost like a dot? And it's because there's so much white space around that logo. So that's the secondary logo, going to pull up right next to that office logo. A lot of these do not apply to the REMAX template. As you get different templates, some of these you'll see are different things. This would be if you want to hide that resource page. I wouldn't recommend that, only because it's how you get all that mortgage calculator and all that other fun stuff that we have. The hide office information, I wouldn't do that. So we stay in compliance. That's only going to hide the office information on that footer there. And we want to stay in compliance. So I wouldn't do that. This is going to be the forced lead registration. So by default, it's going to allow them to look at one property. As soon as they navigate from that, it's going to prompt a forced registration. They have to register in order to be able to keep doing searches or look at other listings. If you don't want that, you can say never ask visitors to register. I would probably, you know, if you're one of those, I don't want people to have to register, maybe prompt registration, but they can X out of that box. Or you can say, I don't want it to be after one. Maybe I want it to be after 3 views. I typically do 2 or 3 on the websites just because the bounce rate is super high when you have that forced registration so quickly. It's almost like fishing. You're kind of like fishing for leads and you let them search and look at properties. They fall in love with your website and then you hook them. So I usually do 2 or 3. but by default, it will be after 1. But you can change that, whatever you want it to be. Now I'll go ahead and just keep that back normal. This is the website title. By default, it's going to be what we put in for the office. That is where you see up here, right on the integrity, honesty, and trust. You can change that, put whatever you want in there. That's what's going to show up in there. And then also it's going to show up, see how that's up there. So honestly, I would probably, because there's another, let me go down and it should be here, but it's not. It's way down under templates. Offices have different options. Let me come down because I want to add that. You can add in your information, your cell phone, anything like that. This is the website custom tagline. I'm going to put that there so it stays, but I am going to scroll back up to those settings because I would say you want your name to be there. Let me go back over here. To spell the last name, where are we here? There we go. There's an A there. I like the name to show up there. Did they do that right? Sorry. Okay. And then you want to make sure you save. Then it's going to change what shows up here. I would always want the agent's name. So that's not something we can do on the office level to put your name there, but we do want to be there. Now, if I refresh, it'll show the name right there on that top. It's also when someone goes to do a Google search, that blue title that is linkable, that is where that is going to show up. Ask unit, I would keep that defaulted. You're in an area where there's condos, townhouses, all of that. When somebody's on that sell page, it'll have unit number when they put in that address. That's probably going to be important for you to be able to redirect and do a CMA or anything like that on anything. This is just a spot if you have different widgets or anything like that, want to add in custom code. It'll say add into your header, add into your body, add into your footer. For example, if you're using Follow Up Boss and you want to connect the 2 CRMs, it'll say here's the custom code, add it to the body of your website. This is where you're going to be adding that code. It's going to basically be HTML coding. You won't understand it, but it's a way for different programs to connect. For MailChimp, I think I have a little widget to sign up for my newsletter. So I was able to go onto MailChimp, grab that widget, and then it says to put it in the body or the footer. So that's what you'll do. Those are for HTML codes for third-party programs or just changing different looks and feels of your website. Conversion code, again, if you're going to be using Facebook Pixel or anything like that, that's where you're going to put that. Custom chat widget, if you're not using the Facebook one that comes, you're going to be using that, when it says put into your custom chat widget, that's where you're going to put that. Your Facebook ID, whether it be your business page or on a personal level, just go to your Facebook, find that ending of and I don't have Facebook open, but let's see, go ahead and open it on another window, Facebook, Mars. You can do it on a personal level or not, or a business page. It doesn't seem to matter. I personally like it on my personal because I manage too many pages and I have all that turned off. If I can spell it. And then I am just grabbing this last part right here. That's the part that it wants. It doesn't want the full username, anything. So Facebook ID, save it. And then going down, you probably don't want to hide your Zillow reviews, but you can add in email or screen name. I have found it to work better if I use the screen name. And that's when you go over to Zillow even if you just do a search, you don't have to log in. It'll have your screen name right on that front page. This is where the background video is. If you do not want a video on your page and you've uploaded photos and you're not sure why you don't see the photos that you uploaded because the video won't go away, you would need to remove that. And that way the video will go away. By default, we do have the unhide chat widget, so you should be good. I believe it's automatically because I'm not refreshing. His chat button works already just because he had his Facebook attached inside of his MAXTech, so it automatically brought the chat widget in once I unhid it. But this is if for some reason you accidentally were clicking buttons and you don't see the chat widget, it may be because on a team site for sure the default is to hide it. So you would want to make sure it's unhid. The full width custom area, that's going to be, if you do not have that on, all of these widgets are going to have a lot of white space on the side. It's basically moving, so everything's in the center and a lot of white space on the side. These are mobile responsive sites. I like the full width so that it shows everything on there, but there are some that I've seen where they have clicked uncheck that and they'll have a lot of white space on the sides of their website. So that's what that means. And the rest of these don't really have anything to do with our template currently. They do apply to other templates that we have. This is the custom navigation. You do have the option. By default, this said search. However, it's just showing your listings or your office listings, and it's going to be the branch location that you're at. So to me, it wasn't really a search. It was really you're looking at listings, and then you can do a search on top of that. So, but you can change what this says. By default, this said sell. If you add a lender, you'll have that finance tab. You can change what resources says. So you can change the labels of what is on that navigation bar. This is if you're going to add custom pages, this is where you can add that. So I could add blog and then save, and then I'm going to have a blog up here on top. So you can, we have a lot of pages already in there, or you can always add your own custom content pages, and then they'll be here to be able to see, to be able to add to that top navigation. If you have a lot of pages and they're in the same category, you'll see featured areas. These are all custom pages, but we added them to a featured area category. Now they're all, I can add that category, and now they're going to create a drop down inside of ours. So that's where we have the info and featured areas. You can take those out. If you wanted to add your own, you can remove that, what we set up for the office. This is if you wanted to hide that resource tab. Again, I don't know that I would, because we do have a lot of stuff for you, but you do have that option. These are those carousels, and these are the options that you have. You have 3 carousels. You could only use one if you wanted one. You could turn them off. You could have just listed, just reduced, open houses, anything that you manually add as your listings or solds. Your sold listings are your listings that sold, not if you had the buyer. And then you could pick an area. Just know it's going to be an area that is in the areas we serve. We have that set up on the brokerage level. You see it on your website, but you would have to manually add those in on your site. And I'll show you how in a minute. So I'm not going to go ahead and save that. Just leave that there. Make sure to go to Google Analytics. Just do a Google search. If you have Gmail, you'll log in with that, and it's going to basically take you step by step by adding the URL. It's going to give you a G code to be able to put in there. That's going to track everything that's going on with your website. It is a little more advanced. It's something I would probably recommend just Zoom with me and we'll set it up together. But it is nice to have, even if I'm a geek, I pull reports every month just because I like to know that. But even if you just set it up so that you have all that data, if you ever were to go and check out, what pages are people going on, what pages are people generating the most leads from, where are they coming from, what social platform is driving the most traffic. I like to know that data so that I know where to focus a lot of attention or anything like that. So I love all that data. I geek out on it. Not everybody else does, but it doesn't cost anything, and it will take us 5 minutes to set up. And then this won't apply to you. Again, this is that custom tagline. You could put in your cell phone, email address. You could really change whatever you want that to say in that tagline. These are the types of listings that will show up on your website. So if you don't want pending or commercial, you can just uncheck that, save, and those listings will not be featured on your website. I believe by default, we have only show our counties. We have gone through to show only our counties. you have a ridiculously large MLS. So we definitely didn't want to showcase Daytona listings on your website, but I think those are already by default set on, and we set it up on the office level when we onboarded. And then you have the default sorting. By default, it is showing the highest price listings to the lowest. You could have days on market, you have popularity, but I will say the popularity, you will find that there are trailers for sale in your area for $40,000. And those seem to be very popular because people are clicking on them a lot. For me, I really like the highest price to the lowest on any of the searches because they have better photos. And then of course, your default listing display is the maps. The maps are great because they will show all the listings versus, and I can show you if we just go click on one of these areas, you're going to default to the map view on everything that we have. It's going to show a map easily. They're able to zoom in, zoom out. They can draw their own. If you had it set up as a grid, it's just going to show the properties like this. And if I wanted it to be a list, this is what will show up. So if you liked those better than the maps, you could always change what your default is. I personally like the map because it gives all the properties, but it also gives you the map and it allows people to freely draw. Well, I really want, just this area here. So I really like that feature to be able to, for the consumer, I think that looks better. And then they can do map report, all this kind of fun stuff they have. So we keep it set up as map. I don't really add anything on there. So that's there. And let's see here. So now that's your basic settings. When we come over here to the website content, this is where you're going to want to copy and paste your reviews. Your Zillow reviews will not show up until you actually add in at least one manual testimonial. And I'll show you what that page will look like when you come over to reviews and you've added your Zillow. The Zillow is actually pulling in on the sidebar. So we still have to manually add some in order for this page to be created on your website. And then it'll pull in the Zillow on that column and all of your manuals are here. But it is nice. You can always just copy paste to add more or direct anybody to your website for them to go ahead and add their own testimonials once you have this page created. By default, it'll show up under your resources page. But if you just grab that URL, create a custom page, now I was able to add it to that top bar. So you just want to go and add testimonial, just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I do that for you. I'll show you where you can order that. But I will get all of the basic settings set up and I'll add up to 20 reviews that you have on Zillow or Google. So that way it's there. Here's service areas. It shows it on the website because it's pulling over from the office, but you do want to add in your own, especially for HTML or anything like that. So if I come back over, I'm just going to move this over so I can see these cities. You'll want to, once you add those in, it's going to remove what the office had. So you just go ahead and copy, paste, just add in as you start typing. And I'll just show if I were to add all cities in the MLS, I just click add all. And then I'm going to show you if I refresh, they're all going to be there. Come over here and you'll see everything on there. So it's going to be everything. And you may want that. That's perfect. So if I come over here to the website, let me refresh it. So you can see the large area. So it's going to show everything. It's all in alphabetical order. But you see how ridiculous that is? That's why I manually do it. Because it's like, Mount Dora, I believe that's in Orlando. So you may not want that. Oh, Satellite Beach. I'm pretty sure you guys don't work Satellite Beach. So that's why I manually add them. It's super easy. You're like, okay, yeah, I don't want that. I'm just going to click remove all from list. Then I'm going to refresh. And it doesn't take that long. I even do this for you based on what you fill out. So I can just start typing in and it's going to, oh, let me go over here and get on the right. Arcadia. There's going to be an area that's going to be a very broad range. I personally go down to the actual city, so it'll pull in correctly. And then wait for that to populate. I know it just did. There we go. Then it'll populate there. So let's see. And you see how easy it is just to add this. And then this is where we may even have that in your, let's see if we have that in your Max tips. I even have, this is kind of like a formula I use. You would want to go ahead and add in your name. And then this is basically the formula I have. I just go save, but I come over here, I'm going to copy the city and I do all this for you. So it's like magic, but I want you guys to at least know if you want to do it yourself. So this is the keywords. This is what's going to help with search engine optimization. You could even, if you have links or information, a paragraph, anything about Arcadia, you would put that in there and that is going to show up above the content that we have. If you were to click on Arcadia, all in alphabetical, there we are. So you have the default page, any information you put in that other block, like a paragraph, links, video, anything like that will show up above the default content. And that's where you would add that. Just make sure if using the formula or anything, every time you make a change to this, make sure to hit that save button before you move on to the next one, because it doesn't, otherwise you go through, and I had to do that many, many times before I realized, oh, I didn't save anything I just did. So it's just basically going down the road, down this to add in all the cities that you want, start typing them in. You can do neighborhoods, counties, anything. Or I don't think we can do counties, but we can do subdivisions. So add in anything that you want. It's perfectly great. This is where you would add a blog. So again, just add in the content, add in a photo, add in the title, and then you can publish or save as draft. Super easy peasy. Let me show you basically what the blogs look like. Here we go. If I go to the home page. And what's also great is when people get the emails or market reports, it's going to also pull in the 2 latest blogs that you have into that email. And you'll see that's how you get the most views, but it also gives you content to be able to put onto social. You know, it's like all roads lead back to your website. Post on the blog. It's going to help with all that search engine optimization. Also gives you content for posting on social and then bringing them back over. So this is basically what a blog will look like. You can do, you know, your market snapshots, anything like that. Just, you know, all of that fun stuff. You could use and even use like Chat GPT. Let's see. I don't have, this one doesn't have one. These are all like Keeping Current Matters ones, but you could go in and all these different ones. We have summer ones, all that kind of stuff. We put them out there, add your own graphic, make it branded for you and all that kind of stuff. But I like being able to do that. You could also pull in your Keeping Current Matters. You could use the free one. This is going to post every single day to give you content. You could post a blog, direct it right back over to this page, and they'll be able to see the most recent article that's on here. Those are already set up on your site. You don't have to do anything. So it's like magic. Something already happens and you just find something. I like to make my own graphics, but you direct people right over to here. It's just Keeping Current Matters. Oop. All right, here we go. When you go to site content, or let's go to widgets, you'll see here, this is showing what the office has set up already. You go to add in your own widgets, you're going to be able to completely customize, and then the office stuff will go away. So I'm going to show you, you can add in your own, but you'll see here we have featured area, contact us, luxury, home worth, modern, and market report. That is what we have already set up on here. When you do go in and you edit, because you can completely edit, we've already kind of set it up for you, but if you want different cities or something like that, you're going to come over here to featured area and add it. But just know when you do that, what we have set up goes away. So if I go to edit, now everything the office did is gone. Now we need to finish what we're doing. And this is where featured area, and now there's nothing there. We have to go in there and completely add in the cities that we want. You can combine, you see, you have full search. So you could have, you know, luxury listings. You can have under 500. You could have all of these different options where you have, you know, golf, pool, waterfront, water view. And then you get into stuff that's not maybe as popular, just different things that you can do. So you can go in there, add whatever you want as far as just putting in multiple cities, one city, and choosing those options however you want. So let me exit out of here. If I go into history, oh, I'm going to come back. I'm going to, if I decide, okay, I don't want to do this, I either am going to have Heather do it or just give me whatever the office had was great. I can click X. I'm going to remove what I attempted to do. And now all the office stuff is there again, all for you. So again, you can't really mess anything up. I encourage you to go play. If you look at all of these, I mean, there's so many different, look at all these different ones that you have to choose from. These are all different widgets. You can play. They even have bundles. I'm not a huge fan of the bundles. I feel they're very, they're very bulky and put a ton of stuff on there. Let me see if I can find where my bundles are. Unless they move that over. Yeah, it looks like they moved them all to the home page, which would be in your settings. They used to be right there. Yes, oh, interesting. So I learned something new every day. So the bundles used to be right here in this drop down, and you could have all these things. I personally like building them on my own just because they do take up, it'll fill up that whole space with all these different widgets that unless you have a lender and you're doing a blog and all that kind of stuff, they don't mean anything for us. All right. So that is the widgets where you can come in there, add all of your own, play with them, see what they look like, all that fun stuff. Lots and lots and lots of different things that you can do, which will completely customize the look and feel of your actual website. Custom content. That is where you can go to custom pages and you can just add a new page. And just like this, it's almost like a Word document. You can, it's all a lot of HTML. You could use ChatGPT. So let's see, let me think of a county. Let me go to ChatGPT. Where are you? There you go. Let's see, what counties do you have? Port Charlotte. Let me try this. Is it Charlotte County or Lee County? Let's see. Well, what county is your best ones? Somebody put that in the chat for me. What's a county we should do? I know Port Charlotte's like a city.
Can we do Charlotte County?
Charlotte. Okay, there we go. I was looking at, there was another Charlotte County. If I can spell. So I have area information and things to do in Charlotte County, Florida. Let's see what ChatGPT decides it's going to do for us. It's like the best assistant ever. It's just kind of writing us a little blog. I will say the information on ChatGPT is a couple years old. If there was anything as far as housing numbers, census data, I always go in and change that, verify anything like that. I mean, the information's only as good as the internet, and think of 2 years ago, I think 2021, they are changing all of that. I know Bart, who is Google's AI, actually has live internet. So most of that information is going to be completely updated, but do verify, but it's great. start for information. You can make a cute little graphic that goes onto a page like this. I use this for blogs, summer activities and city. But the more you add in that, and if it gives different places or golf or anything like that, go and just do a search for those different specific golf communities or golf places where you can go do that, link them. And then that way it's going to give you that link back to those different places, area attractions, or anything like that. So this is great. I could sit here and copy and paste that. I have to use a text box because it's going to bring in a gray background, which I don't want. So if I come over and I copy, I have my little, I know it's definitely more advanced, but pretty cool. I can sit here and just go over here and then open up my chat, my little text, paste. Then I'm going to select all, copy again, come back over here. And then I am going to see how there's nothing is not letting me click. Every once in a while, it'll do that. I just have to refresh this. And then go back to custom pages, new page, boom. And then I just kind of edited. I may make the font by default, it's 12 point. And I have old eyes. I like to make everything 14. And then you can, come over here, bold something or anything like that. If I want, I can save it. If I'm not done with it, that's fine. I can just, save. Hope I have to, let's see, Charlotte County information. And then I have to find a category. So maybe I want it to be like area information, and then I save. If I'm not ready for it, I'm just going to toggle this over so it's not published. It's staying in draft mode. So that way you can sit here and use all these different ways to be able to add content. I also use that for customizing graphics for the homepage to really beef up my website. And let me see, come over here. So I don't like that I wanted to be able to add bigger social media buttons. I just did this in Canva, dropped in the social links. That's all I did inside a custom page. I added everything here. Then I just came over to the source, copied it, pasted it. I know I'm getting over the head. I get excited, I can't help. But here's, if you're like, yeah, whatever, Heather, I don't care about building a website. You're just going to do it for me. You just come over here and click free website enhancement. And then you just fill out your information, and like magic, I just do it for you. We're going to make it pretty. You already have all the information. Remember, if you're a team site, you do not inherit all of that. Some members inherit this part, don't always inherit what we set up on the office. I have seen most will inherit the widgets though. Not sure why. They're supposed to inherit the team. If the team has made any modifications, the team members will inherit that team site. So that is good. If you're a team leader and you want your team site set up, all of your team will inherit what we set up on a team level. And that way it's one less thing they have to do. Of course, agents can customize on their own after the fact, but it is nice when they're all kind of set up in that aspect. And then we also have future classes, and we have all the Zoom classes, and I have a ton of stuff, videos that I just do when I'm constantly having different questions come about. Now I'm going to come over to this little chat because I saw something on there. I wasn't 100% sure what happens. Does our webpage go to a blank? Tammy, I'm not 100% sure. You shouldn't have a total blank website. Let's see what we got going on over here, Tammy.
Yeah, when you were in doing Mark, you were on Mark's site and you were in there changing things and stuff, and I'm on my other computer here and I was trying to follow along on my computer. And then when I went back into my page, I didn't change anything. I'm just following along what you're doing. and it was just totally blank. And then I had created on my Facebook page this morning a link to the Southwest Florida pool homes, and that came up blank too. So I went into Facebook, clicked on it, and then I refreshed it after you went back out of Mark's site. Then I refreshed it and it came back on again. So I don't know if it has anything to do with you being in the office site or just
No, because I'm only playing with Mark's, so Mark's would be completely separate. If I was messing with the office, it would change that, but no, working on Mark's shouldn't do that. I would just hang that up to like a glitch of some sort.
Okay.
You may want to change like your name. So I see everything is all there.
Yeah, it's all back up. Everything's there now.
Yeah, that's weird. So it's
It
just
just-
blank. There was nothing going on.
Yeah, it was just a total white page. It had my name at the top, tammyhayes.remax.com, and it was just totally white. And then I went to Facebook and clicked on the link that I created to the Southwest Florida pool homes, and it was white, totally blank too. And I mean, I've been sitting here playing with it. I mean, I added all my testimonials and stuff like that, but that was a couple of days ago. So I haven't done anything else to my page.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't, me working on Mark shouldn't have any effect on.
Okay. I didn't know if you were in the office, since we're all got the, a copy of what the office has. I didn't know.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't. Usually I don't set, it's like I kind of set those and forget it, except for adding additional stuff as I am constantly trying to figure out workaround and website hacks and all that kind of cool stuff. So I just, and then I add them to the pages. So for the most part, you guys have what people pay a lot of money for. I want to give you the most content. If you want landing pages, we'll set those up, but there's a lot of stuff that we can do. And I know they're working on getting us new templates. I did have one office in Georgia had like 6-7 templates, so it changes the complete layout and look. So they've been doing updates, and I think they're hearing us because I am slowly seeing stuff inside of our campaigns for our marketing. Just like Bouge, I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, I like that about Bouge. I liked all the newsletters and stuff, but I am working on that for you guys, so that hopefully when you get the email for the social media calendar, you'll have the next month's newsletter set up, and you'll just go to your kvCORE template or the templates and be able to clone it and make it yours, whether you add your listings or any other graphics. So that is on my to-do list, so that it'll be ready for you guys, at least to do your monthly campaigns and stuff like that. We'll try to have like local information and all that kind of stuff. But one less thing you guys will have to worry about, and I'm adding in all of the Bouge holidays. So you guys will be able to go send a mass email and then just do a search in the templates for holiday and find the next holiday and use it, send it to all of your people. So but they are updating and adding templates for us. So I've noticed the website sometimes a little glitchy, and I think I know I just seen, like usually if I log in, they're updating in the middle of the night, but that's when I'm usually working, and I'll see like it's going to be down until 4 a.m. or something like that. When you go to, and it should be in your newsletters too, when you go to REMAXPalmTeam.com, this is where we have your agent hub. So it's got all sorts of goodies and all that kind of fun stuff. Zoom with me, everything that you should need. On there is a MAXTech tile. And I believe these are on the newsletter as well. But here's like for, a bunch of different links for MAXTech powered by kvCORE, REMAX University training on it, how to log in, your support, all of that. But in here, we also have free website enhancement. And then you just fill that out. Let us know what cities you want, the featured areas, the service areas, all of that, and we'll get your site set up for you. And if you want your own, you can upload them, if you have your own graphics and stuff like that, but we will set that up for you. Any other questions? I think we covered a lot. It might have been a little too much. I get it really excited because there's a lot we can do with the websites. But if anybody wants to learn it, then I want you to know how to be able to edit anything as well.
Yeah, I think you lost a lot of us. So,
But I guess that's the good thing is you don't need to know it because you have Heather.
right, just as a recap, show them one more time what they got to do to set it up with you. Just real quick.
Go
Yeah.
to REMAXPalmTeam.com.
Okay.
You're going to click on MAXTech, free website enhancement. I'm going to get your Zillow reviews. I'm going to, get everything set up, organized however you want it.
Mark, will you send us a link to that?
No, go
It's
to
a
your
REMAX
agent hub. You
policy.
need to know how to go there.
Yeah.
I know where the hub is.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
there's a lot of stuff.
And it should be in your newsletter as well.
So REMAXPalmTeam.com, click on MAXTech, and it's right there. I don't think
Yep.
they're using it. It's easy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I spent like 4 hours last Tuesday, did a bunch of stuff. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
All right, awesome. Well, Heather, I don't think anybody has any questions, so thank you again for your time. What's our next session going to be?
I believe that you guys going over and doing the quick start guide for the next 2 weeks. And then after that, we are going to be playing with the squeeze pages and also in here, the advanced website here. We are going to be going over all of this cool stuff that we have set up for you and how you're going to use those. I know this looks a little crazy, but you actually can make all these squeeze pages yours, generate leads, let's build up your pipeline. We're going to be going over squeeze pages and landing pages, one of my other favorite topics. But again, you can make those yours. We already have the drafts set up for all of these different ones. And hopefully soon we will have a order form checklist of different areas you want us to also add. So that'll be a lot of fun. So squeeze pages, landing pages, building our pipeline with those is the next session with me, which is the 20th. The next 2 weeks, you guys are going to be really honing in on that platform, which is going to make it really nice because now after that, we're going to build our pipeline with leads after that.
What's that? We got a question. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Heather, I'm overwhelmed. Are you putting our Zillow testimonial links in here for us?
Yes, I am, and I'm copying at least 20 of them. So if you have Google,
I was going to say, I have more Google testimonials than I do Zillow.
yeah, so when you do the order form, because Google and Zillow are the only ones that allow me to actually copy and paste. So don't send me a scanned piece of paper with, I don't want to type them. But send me the link in the order form where it has any notes. Put the link to where I can grab your Google reviews. I will still sync up your Zillow, but if you have Google, we want to obviously have them different than Zillow. And Google doesn't sync with this, but Zillow does. So we definitely want to add in your Google and then we'll sync the Zillow. So it'll be 2 separate reviews on those pages. But just put in that little link there so I know where to find your Google business page to be able to copy and paste those for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Any
right.
other questions?
Nope, I think we're good. Thank you.
Awesome.
We appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'm sure lots of us will be in touch with you.
Thank you, Heather.
Awesome. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.